and welcome to The Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Stephen Van Eiderstein, and welcome to January 25th, which we will be reading James Allen's Daily Meditation. Just been a great couple of them the last couple. I mean, they've all been great up until this point, but really been resonating with the meditation readings the last couple of days. So I have a feeling that this one will probably do the same. That's how these things go. So hopefully I don't keep you on for too long today, but we'll keep it going. So this will be fresh to you and fresh to me. I haven't read the meditation before, so when I read it, you'll get my genuine response, reaction, and observations, and how I relate to the reading, and we'll see where it takes us. So here we go, January 25th. Despondency, anxiety, worry, and irritability cannot cure the ills against which they are directed. They only add more misery to the troubles that prompt them. The cultivation of a steadfast and serene spirit cannot be overlooked if life is to yield any measure of usefulness and happiness. The trifles and even greater troubles which annoy would soon dissolve and disappear if confronted with a temper that refuses to be ruffled and disturbed. Personal aims, wishes, schemes, and pleasures will meet with checks, rebuffs, and obstacles. And it is in learning to meet these reverses in a wise and calm spirit that we discover the true and abiding happiness within our heart. When impatience and irritability are put away, then is realized and enjoyed the blessedness of a strong, quiet, and peaceful mind. The greatest blessedness comes to him who infuses into his mind the purest and noblest thoughts. Here we go. Another great reading. I love that it's about self-control, really. And I love that it's also addressing those first things that it brings up for the reading: the despondency, anxiety, worry, irritability, cannot cure the ills against which they are directed. It's regardless of how much we worry about something, how much we are disgusted with something, or worried about an outcome or someone's perception. It doesn't matter. It took me a long time to figure that out, that it's wasted energy. It doesn't change anything. And it does nothing for myself but cause misery and unhappiness. You know, that next sentence, they only add more misery to the troubles that prompt them. Then we add our own ego's reflection onto these things, right? So it's besides just the situation itself, it becomes something having to do with our own pride and ego most of the time in some way, and fear gets attached, and suddenly this thing becomes this, whatever it might be, whether it's any situation in life. It becomes this massive thing because our self-worth gets involved with it, almost, in our sense of security almost gets involved with it. And the solution, the cultivation of a steadfast and serene spirit cannot be overlooked if life is to yield any measure of usefulness and happiness. If all we are is looking for, let's say, if all we are is worried and anxiety-riddled and despondent and frustrated, we're not useful to anybody else. No one wants to come to us for that genuine help. No one wants to have us be a part of their lives, because who would want that around all the time? It's a very important point to realize. We're supposed to, or we get so much happiness out of being of service to other people, but when we're in that state of mind of fear and anxiety, and we can't be that. It separates us from ourselves. It separates us from being genuinely useful to anybody else. And also we rob ourselves of our happiness because of that as well. Right? My happiness I am incapable of happiness when I am in a state of constant anxiety and worry. I drive myself deeper into depression because I don't give myself the opportunity to come out of it. These are not burdens we're meant to carry. These are not things we're meant to be constantly fretting about and involved with. And I didn't realize that for a very, very long time. He goes on to say, the trifles and even greater troubles which annoy would soon dissolve and disappear if confronted with a temper that refuses to be ruffled and disturbed. Because it's not the fact that these things will go away, right? We suddenly come to a place where we have peace and serenity and contentment with ourselves and life and how it's going, and we choose to live. We get to choose how we want to live this life. It doesn't matter the things that used to give us anxiety or fear or worry pop up. It's not. Some things we do make up in our head, right? Some things that we just imagine and we create, and then suddenly we have fear because of this imaginary circumstance or situation that might possibly happen. I think it was Mark Twain that said something to the effect that most of the worst situations I've been through in my life never actually happened, right? It's something to that effect. Comment the real one if you want to correct me on it. But it's been the truth for me. As soon as I find some peace and some serenity with a situation in my life, when things pop up, they don't pull me off centered like they used to. It took practice to get there, and it was progressively less and less until I got to a point where I was just, you take action. Something happens, you take action. You don't project what that action means. You don't project what the outcome's going to be and what people are going to think about the outcome. You just do, because of the experience you have. And you don't sacrifice your peace. You don't sacrifice your serenity for those things. You don't let your temper be ruffled and disturbed, as he put it here. Personal aims, wishes, schemes, and pleasures will meet with checks, rebuffs, and obstacles. Again, just stating, we don't get a smooth path to these things. It's just the path. Do we make it smooth? Right? When we come with these, when the checks, rebuffs, and obstacles show up in our lives on the way to these objectives and plans and goals that we have, how do we meet them? With frustration, resentment, worry, anxiety? Or do we engage them and take action? And take the appropriate steps we need to take to actually address these things in our lives? And then he goes on, it is in learning to meet these reverses in a wise and calm spirit that we discover the true and abiding happiness within our heart. When we bring that calmness to a situation, when we bring that peace to a situation, and we walk through it with our head up, and we walk through it efficiently, and we walk through it in a positive way, successfully, right? Successfully. We realize the abiding happiness in our heart, the joy of just knowing that we're going to be okay. Everything is okay, that everything is just as it's supposed to be, and I'll take the actions that are appropriate for this situation. And regardless of outcome, I can be at peace and have my joy. And still been doing right in this world. It ends second to last sentence, that when impatience and irritability are put away, then it is realized and enjoyed the blessingness of a strong, quiet, and peaceful mind. Strong, quiet, and peaceful mind. That sounds beautiful, doesn't it? That's what we all want. At least, I would assume. That's what I want. Strong, powerful, peaceful mind. A mind that's ready to operate in full function and efficiently and effectively in all situations. When pulled with irritability, when pulled with impatience, we can't operate in that sense. We're accounting for fear then. We're accounting for ego then. We're accounting for all of these things outside of ourselves that pull us away. So the last thing, the greatest blessedness comes to him who infuses his mind with the purest and noblest of thoughts. This calmness and this peace comes from the heart and your intention, and then the mind you think with, the thoughts you have, and beginning to monitor those things. So just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Just to remember that what happens externally to yourself is a very large reflection of what you perceive in the world and how you think and your intention from your heart. So another just fantastic reading. I love this. That goal of a strong, quiet, and peaceful mind is a great goal to have. So thank you for joining me again today. I appreciate it. I'm now on Anchor, Spotify, and also Apple Podcasts as well, if you want to check it out over there, if you prefer Apple Podcasts. And I look forward, and I'm grateful for everybody that's been jumping on and listening. So I will touch base again tomorrow. Until next time, thanks.